Good morning, girls. Today we are doing grammar revision, as every Friday is our grammar period. Okay. Now in grammar, you'll know the rule. Whatever you'll have studied right from your primary till date, you need to know everything, right? So this exam, that is this term, second term, you all studied change the voice, then prepositions, then you all studied interjections and interpolations. Okay, till quantifiers and determiners it was done by Miss Prachi. No, sorry, quantifier and determiner was also done by me. So we studied from chapter number 14. Now model auxiliary 1, model auxiliary 2 is for your final exam. So we didn't do those two chapters. So now first we'll see quantifiers and determiners. Okay, now quantifiers and determiners, what are they? They are nothing but they are two types of adjectives. Okay, so quantifiers are those adjectives, that is, they tell us. Now adjectives, usually what are adjectives? The words which tell you something more about a noun, okay, are called as adjectives. Okay, they modify a noun, they tell you something more about a noun. So quantifiers, okay, are adjectives which tell you the quantity. Okay, now quantifier, though it is a quantity, it is not a number. Okay, some, little, many, few, a lot of, a big chunk. So when a quantity is told in such words, that is many, less, few, it is called as a quantifier adjective. Okay, write on the board so that you all understand better. What are quantifier adjectives? Adjectives are words which tell you something more about a noun. They modify a noun. So a quantifier adjective is that adjective which tells you about the quantity. But now it is not a number. It is not a numerical quantity. It is terms like few, then many, a lot, little. What else can come? A great deal. Then all, plenty, several. All these are quantities. Okay, they tell you that, okay, little can be this much, it can be this tiny, it can be this much, but it is a quantity. Then many can be 100, 200, 300. A number is not being told. So whenever an adjective does not tell you a number, but it tells you these terms, instead of a number, these words are used, then it is a quantifier adjective. Adjectives are usually come before a noun, that is, they tell you something more about a noun. Now the noun has to be a countable or uncountable noun. Depending on that, these quantifiers come. Now determiners are also kinds of adjectives which tell you the quantity, but they tell you the number. That is 100, that is the adjective which tells you the number is a determiner, And the adjective which tells you the quantity, but it is not a number, a fixed number is not mentioned, then it is a quantifier. And whenever an adjective tells you a proper number, that is numerical numbers, then they are determiners. Whenever number is mentioned, it is determiner. And for quantifiers, you don't have a fixed number. You have words like so much, little, few, several. So whenever number is mentioned, it is determiner, and when no number is mentioned but it tells you the quantity, then it is quantifier. Okay, so we are done with quantifiers and determiners. Then the next was change the voice. This was something new for y'all. Y'all only have identification this time. That is, you have to identify. Now there are two types. What are voices? Voices are nothing. Okay, but they are types of verbs. Okay. Now there are two kinds. Active voice and passive voice. Now, what is active voice? Whenever a sentence is in active voice, first you have the subject, then you have the verb, and then you have the object. This is when the sentence is in active voice. So whenever a sentence is in active voice, this is the order of the sentence. First is the subject, then is the verb, and then is the object. He is the subject, makes is the verb, tea is the object. This is the sentence in active voice. He makes tea. So whenever a sentence is subject first, verb in the center, and object last, it is active voice. In active voice, the subject is the doer of the action. Now over here, this subject is making tea. So whenever the subject does the work, it is called as, it is in active voice. Now we'll see passive voice. In passive voice, first we have the object, then we have the verb. The verb always remains in the center, and then we have the subject. Now we'll take the same sentence. Object will come first, tea. In passive voice, the verb is always two words. In active voice, it is a single word. In passive voice, there's a helping verb which is added to the new verb. So, tea is being, two or more than two, being made by him. So, first is the object, then is the verb, and then is the subject. Now over here, the subject is receiving the action. He is not doing the action, but he is receiving the action. That is, that this tea is being made by him. Here he is making the tea. Here the tea is being made by him. So whenever the subject is receiving, is taking the action towards him, it is passive voice. In passive voice, the object is always first. The verb remains in the center, but the verb from one word it becomes to two or more than two. That is, this is a helping verb. Is being is a helping verb which is added to the main verb made. And him is the object. Sorry, is the subject. Now over here it was only he. So I have added one more word to the main subject. Okay, clear? So whenever a sentence is in active voice, the subject is first, the verb is in the center and the object is last. Whenever the sentence is in passive voice, the object is first, verb remains in the center, but there's a helping verb which is added to the main verb, and the subject is the last. In passive voice, the subject is the receiver. The subject receives the action. See, this action is going from here to here. So the subject is receiving. Over here, that this person is going towards the action. So he is doing the action. He is the doer of the action. So when the subject is doer of the action, it is active voice. When subject is receiver of the action, it is passive voice. So whenever it is identification, you have to see the order, whether the subject is doing the action or whether the subject is receiving the action. Then the next was prepositions. The next thing that was prepositions. Prepositions you all are studying from your third or fourth standard. What are prepositions? Words which help to connect nouns. Words which connect nouns, verbs and adjectives. So the words which are used to connect nouns, which are used to connect verbs and which are used to connect adjectives are called as prepositions. Now prepositions do not join two sentences. Okay, they usually join two words in a sentence. That is, they give a meaning to a sentence which is not properly joined. I am going school. I am going school evening. Now the sentence is not connected to one another in any way. See this sentence. I am going school evening. Now this sentence is not making any sense. I am going school evening. No sense at all. Now only when I add prepositions, I am going to school. This is the evening. I'm going to school in the evening. When I added the preposition to and in, my sentence is now meaningful. So there are two words that are being joined. So whenever prepositions are those words which connect a disconnected sentence. That is, they join two nouns or pronouns, verbs, adjectives. Now going, school is a noun, going is a verb. So a verb is connected to school through preposition. Evening and the. Now the evening, noun. Okay, the evening can be abstract noun. So they are connected with preposition in. Okay, so prepositions are words which connect two words or they connect a discontinued sentence, a broken sentence. Okay, now we'll see there are different types of prepositions. We'll see that in the next